Is it weird as a stranger, or are you talking about people we've done before?
Pardon?
Is it the first time you dealt with a stranger type thing, or?
Uh, Sorry, I could barely hear you at that moment. It sounded like you were mumbling around some food.
Was this the first time you dealt with a stranger on this thing, or?
Not quite the first time I was with a stranger, but this is the first time I've had someone new pop in, so to speak.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Salted Grump, and with me is, Weesaw, who happens to be acting as co-commentator for this absolute fucking shit heap of a game. So, we are currently going through this mission by mission, as I've mentioned in my previous episodes of this stream. This is zero effort on my part, this is zero sanity on my part. This is still not a good game, and we are on mission 4.
So yeah, hello everybody. I'm just trying to sync everything up because I think the stream's going behind your talking, so I was confused with like the link.
Yes, there is a notable stream lag of about 15 to 20 seconds because I am streaming this on highest video quality instead of highest minimum latency, because I want to show the absolute ugliness of this game. This is a game that came out in 2013 and looks like it got wiped through someone's ass from 2002 until its release. It does not look pretty at all, and I've done everything I possibly can, short of mods, to make it look decent. Which is embarrassing as hell.
Game?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
There are mods for this game?
Yes, I know, it's shocking. The biggest mod just fixes a single typo in the main INI file that turns on the AI.
How do you fuck that up so bad?
Gearbox. Everything I can say that is negative towards this game can be directly applied to Randy Pitchford and his decisions within Gearbox to defraud Sega of approximately $12 million to make Borderlands and Borderlands 2 instead of making the game they were asked to make.
Yup.
And as much as I like Gearbox as a company, the fact that Randy Pitchford is there is what is dragging that company down. So, let's go honors into this shit show. We are now on episode 4, No Hope in Hadley's, after a pair of spaceships exploded and crashed in orbit. This is not a good game in any way, shape, or form. It'll only get stupider from here.
Yeah, I can remember.
Hey, look at that loading time! This is gonna get stupid.
Yeah. Well, I can't see anything other than I can't see anything other than the actual stream, but...
Give it a few minutes. It's just... you'll see.
Well, first off, it definitely had that old school just nothing but brown thing going on.
Yeah. I mean, on the one hand, whomever the background artist was, they actually did good work, because, well, it actually looks like a giant flaming ruin in the background and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, of course. At least there's kind of some diversity here. I'm trying to be positive.
Yeah, being optimistic and positive is probably a good idea.
Like, this is before people really felt like they needed to have diversity, and then at least I feel it appeared to be a black woman.
And then there's... oh god, this... just the AI walking into each other alone is bad enough, but they all walk around like they have massive poles stuck up their ass.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I admit the background art design, for this level at least, is not too horrible per se, because it actually does look like LV-426, the planet, in the Alien movie, in Aliens, all that sort of stuff. So at least that part of the game got it right. By the way, I currently have a shotgun equipped. I am going to switch to a different weapon after I reload this thing. So to switch weapons, I have to hold B, and then I can select between primary weapon, secondary weapon, sidearm, and, well, grenades. So, in this case, I want to use the pulse rifle because it's the bog standard assault rifle of the game. Everyone knows and loves it from the movie Aliens. And, of course, it has the most aggravating sound of all time, which made perfect sense in a movie where you only hear it in short bursts, but in a game where you're expected to mag dump half a magazine into something before it dies, it turns into a raging headache. Welcome to my suffering. I'm sorry, man, you were roboting there pretty hard. It's like your connection decided to take a shit on good taste.
The weird problem is I have good internet usually, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just Discord being wonky because it's been having API issues every once in a while for the last several months. Mostly because of people being angry and trying to DDoS it for its use as, well, a community chat server. So, what we have here is we have the token...
My point is,
what we have here...
legal contract issue about they have to use that noise or something like that. They have to be accurate.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's accurate, which is quite deliberate, but in the movie Aliens, you only hear the pulse rifle fire in short bursts, and it is a harsh, grating noise because it's designed to make you feel like you are being extremely stressed and pressured. And that's fine in...
Make it one very thing.
And, I mean, when it comes to the sound design, it's fine in short bursts. I mean, I just fired a 4-round burst, you'll be able to hear it in a few seconds. But in a long, drawn-out burst, it is absolute hell on your ears. And the developers forgot to take into account that when they did the game, when they worked on the game.
Yeah.
So, anyway, they could have made it softer, they could have made it less agonizingly painful to listen to. I mean, the only reason why I'm sprinting, by the way, is because I have push to talk set on my shift key, which is also sprint, so such is life and all that rot. But
I mean, just a sprint button when I shooter or something like this, so.
True that. Of course, the fact is that the protagonist of this game runs like an asthmatic fart who is being outpaced by a man with a leg.
Sir, what do you know of the movies that were sent here 17 weeks ago?
I'm just looking around here. Something with the fire looks off. I don't know why, it just does.
To be fair, it does look off. It also looks stupid.
Like, also, how is fire spreading really? There's not much combustible material.
In theory, if it gets hot enough, metal will start to burn. But, lore-wise, that was an atmosphere processor. You'll see it when the stream catches up or whatever. And it blew up in the climax of the movie Aliens, creating a dust cloud, quote, the size of Nebraska. And honestly, the fact that there's even hints of the building still in one piece is completely non-canon to the actual movies and such, because an explosion that size, 40 megatons, would not leave twisted wreckage, it would leave a crater.
point, yeah.
This here is the APC from the movie, and it just so happens, let me just turn on my flashlight here, to actually be a rather cool design, because it was, as the movie prop, it was built out of a airport tug, and weighed 47 tons.
My question is, why did the copyright holders actually manage to license and stuff?
I honestly have no idea.
You know what I mean? Like, Sonic has to be blue and Smash in every costume because of Sega. You think other companies would be as good with the license and be accurate too?
I mean, it's possible, but when push comes to shove, the big thing about the Aliens franchise is that beyond the first two movies, its most successful aspects have always been in the comic books, specifically Dark Horse comics. So, there's a few things that remain mandatory within the franchise, like, for example, how the alien life cycle works. But other than that, it's wholly up to the developer on what they want to do, and just how tough the alien is or how smart it is, beyond the absolute baseline.
I'm going to assume it's just this is an old franchise I love protected.
Yeah, pretty much.
This isn't a cash cow anymore. Are you playing Ripley in this game or no?
No, I am playing an original character named Winter.
Dumb question, guy or girl?
Winter is a guy. Winter is a guy. He is the most painfully generic guy to ever be generic.
So he's meant to be you.
Well, yeah, except I have more personality and charm in my pinky finger than Winter has in his entire body and soul.
It was my point, like, it's meant to be a generic and blank slate that any player can the default audience slip themselves into.
Pretty much. I believe the official acronym is AFGANAP, but that's from old RPGs, and I don't remember the actual meaning of the acronym. So, one thing that the developers, well, the artistic crew went through was they actually went to the trouble of recreating the wreckage of Hadley's Hope, the interior here, to be almost one-for-one to how it was in the movie when the first Marines showed up. And as a result of that, you have stuff like the building being partially torn to shit, partial wall collapses, all that sort of stuff. And it's just very much attempting to be spooky, which does not work in this game because this game has all of the spook factor of a potato. By the way, this is an audio log here on the shelf. I am not touching it because I've already unlocked it, and frankly all the audio logs are stupid because they're all Weyland-Yutani scientists saying, but we can't use human experimentation, we're not getting paid enough!
Here's my question. I usually find horror doesn't work well when you have giant guns that are very effective against a monster. You know?
Yeah, the issue with any horror game is that if the monster is easily defeated, well, it's not a horror game. The horror of this game is honestly how bad it is as a game. It's not a conventional form of horror, but that's exactly what I mean when I say it. If you want a good Alien game that came out less than a year after this one, you really should check out Alien Isolation, which was made by Creative Assembly, which honestly was best known for, well, you. Hang on a second. Okay, so here's the motion tracker. I may as well show this for a second or three. And, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being sidetracked. But in general, the motion tracker is all about if there's something moving in an area, it'll tell you how far away it is, all that sort of crap. It will also tell you where collectibles are. And yes, the ping is... Christ, it's just constant.
I can hear from your thing, so...
Yeah, so the ping is just absolute aggravatingly constant. It's more annoying than anything, to be honest, but only when you have the tracker up. Otherwise, it's, well, completely useless.
By the way, I found out just on the chat, the only thing in it is, are you really playing against Marines group? Grump, Lavio. That's it.
Yeah, this is not a good game in any way, shape, or form. It's honestly an insult to the franchise, and it's even more of an insult in that Randy Pitchford himself claimed that, firstly, not only is this a valid continuation of the Aliens canon timeline, but it is worth at least a 7.5 out of 10.
Even in the 6-point rating scale, 4-point rating scale, this is still a solid 6.
To be fair, on the 4-point rating scale of between 6 and 10, 6 is dogshit horrible, and everything above that is still dogshit horrible until you hit 10.
Yeah, but you get my point of, I'm pretty sure this is still the worst thing.
The thing that really gets me mad about this is that it had so much promise. It could have been good if Randy Pitchford had decided to actually apply the finances that were applied to this to where it was supposed to be applied to, instead of siphoning them off.
Not contributing was probably legal embezzlement.
Oh, very much. If I recall correctly, Sega actually sued Gearbox, and they settled out of court.
Which basically means Sega won, probably.
Oh, look, there's a dead alien, and, what the fuck? Just standing there with her head up her arse. Okay, this game is already damaging someone. Probably me, to be honest.
Why is she crouching like that? She was crouching like that.
If I knew, I would tell you.
I can only do this. It was specifically designed to be like comic book sexualization kind of thing.
We're on it, sir.
Okay, so I have to place motion sensors to establish a perimeter. Note that there will be no motion sensors right over here where the big fucking hole is, because of course. Common sense is no longer common.
Affirmative, Nugget. Let's get these sensors up base.
I'm curious what the QA doing with this game was, if at all.
Bluntly non-existent. Ooh, grumbly music noise. Hey look, I can plant a motion sensor here. Thing's the fucking size of a small fucking pony, and I just pulled it out of my dick. Okay, just gonna take a quick look around, see what references we can find. Okay, this tube is one of the multiple autopsy tubes from the movie, where there were facehuggers hiding in them. Oh wait, there's even more of them. I mean, I look at this game, you can see the potential it had. There were good ideas, or at least not all bad ideas. But when it comes down to it, there's just no heart to it.
No effort put in. So it's kind of like a thought next gen, wasn't like overly planned and not too much effort put in.
It's not even that. There was a lot of effort put into it by the developers who were subcontracted to actually make this game while Gearbox was siphoning money. It's just that the end result is just absolute disjointed donkey shit instead of just at least trying.
I mean, I think the game one, Honestly, with this game, I always assume the people who are actually making the physical parts are trying is just budget, time. Well, in this case, probably mostly budget. We're finishing their job properly. So he has to put something together with the budget they had.
The guns are empty, he says. 0 rounds in that one, sure. 10 rounds in that one, not empty. But in this regard, it was very much a case of an actual last stand, as shown in Aliens, which, by the way, is still such a good movie you really should consider watching it. Because at least that has a case of a bunch of really gung-ho Marines getting their shit shot out of them. Well, not so much shot out of them as absolutely terrified out of them, because, well, alien, and out-of-context problems and all that. So it's actually surprisingly good as a result of basically being a mobile interstellar horror, as well as a Vietnam metaphor in its own way. Hang on a second, I have to deal with something. I do apologize for that. It's just that, well, I had someone try to sneak into my room whilst streaming, and obviously I cannot really technically allow that.
Yeah.
Oh, yay, look, I got all 5 sensors up. Sorry about the delay there.
Yeah. Good job on that.
And, of course, everything breaks. God damn it.
I see something called mutation on the call screen.
Yeah, that's for multiplayer. You can play as an alien and get experience.
Oh, well.
Okay, the sensor in the morgue. So that would be sensor number 4 right over here.
Is the multiplayer any good? I'm assuming not.
I think it lasted for about a week and then died.
Oh, it's online matchmaking, not like with friends or anything.
Oh, it has friends, it's just... It's friends and all, but... Oh, fucking hell.
It's just good as finding friends. Play with it.
So as you know, one of the big plot points in Alien, in general, is that the alien has acid blood. In this game, the only thing acid blood does is interfere with your ability to self-regenerate.
That seems pretty mild.
Yep, especially considering how it's normally extremely lethal. Oh, and by the way, it's an infinite spawn, so they will just keep coming until hell freezes over.
Because that's good horror. Just enemies you can easily kill and spawn instantly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I was like...
And I just ran right past that one because of course.
You could use it as spawn for horror almost. People like kept on beating more and more and more to the point where you can't fight it off anymore. So it's just the same thing over and over, but it's not really horror. You know what I mean?
I mean, wait until you see this absolute happy horse shit. And I died by walking into an enemy after killing 5 enemies that jumped right past me. So, happy horse shit is an understatement. So, the AI priority in this game, if it can be called a priority, is quite simple. See player, kill player.
I'm doing this shit. That is kind of annoying when we can automatically be able to play it. Like, I know they do to a certain level, it'll be fun.
I mean,
like,
in theory, there is co-op in this game. It could theoretically be balanced for 4-player co-op. It's just not a good game.
And so, co-op or just online co-op?
Online co-op.
if I was a programming guy, I'd probably give a bump to player.
Oh hey, I just died again because I tried to use grenades. You see, here's the fun thing about grenades. It's not a tap a button, you get a grenade. It's tap a button, you toggle 2 grenades, and then you have to use them, and they're not contact, they're timed. So I have shown off how bad the pulse rifle is. I am going to switch to a shotgun, because fuck this game. The shotgun is the only good thing in this game.
The only good thing, do you actually do it, or just superior to everything else?
The only thing in the sense that it works. It will drop an enemy in a couple of shots instead of taking 10 to 30.
On you. Like, way more than we should ever have. Well, we're not in a war game. Still here?
Yep, I'm just concentrating on not getting eaten this time, because god damn it, I hate this game. Hang on a second, I appear to be stuck. Oh, that's why I accidentally turned on the team chat. Because that's something you cannot disable in single player. Oh look, a medkit. Heh. Yeah, but you'd think a lot of things about this game's development cycle too, and, well, none of them are good. It's just, god damn it. Every part of this game is frustrating as hell, because it's just so much abject failure in a single box.
Oh.
Pardon?
Is there something wrong with this, or?
I think there was. I think it was in the 2007 LP thread, which was basically zero effort because it's that bad. And I cannot blame them for saying that, because it really is. Okay, let's see if I can find a decent toy in here. Oh look, health! Well, actually, that was armor, my bad. But yeah, you can see the shenanigans, fuckery, absolute horseshit of this game. Christ on a crutch.
At least it wasn't that buggy per se.
Okay, there's the checkpoint.
I do, sir. We're running grab it. Roger that.
And hey, look, stupid logic 101. Let's grab the empty sentry turret. And now I have to swap to a different gun because my shotgun's out of ammo. So, honors to the other shotgun, which has its own ammo load and takes forever to reload because fuck my life. So, as you can see on the motion tracker, there's enemies everywhere, except they're all sitting outside where you can't hit them.
Can they hit you?
No, thankfully, but it's still design decisions, right?
It's probably meant to, like, instill some level of fear, not only fear, but like, oh my god, the enemies are everywhere, but like, just... They're probably not actually there, it's just there for, like, symbolic purposes.
There's just so many ideas that could have been and ended up being not worth it. And, oh look, now we allegedly have a turret to defend us. It's gonna take a while to get cooking, because, well, fuck this game, fuck this level, I'm just going to let the AI do the work for me.
But you know the AI is not ever good, so...
I know, as you can see by the fact that I just got my shit pushed in.
I can't say yes, but she's doing probably. Where's the life point?
And I got killed, not because I ran out of ammo, but because I dared to actually, well, shoot at the damn thing instead of hitting it with melee. So, that's 3 deaths so far, so once the stream is done, I'll actually get to lift weights 30 times, because that's the self-imposed challenge I have. Every time I get killed in a game, I will, well, as mentioned, lift weights.
10 times each death?
Yep, 10 per death.
We'll run and grab it.
Do get strong, boy.
And that's kind of the joke. I started when I was playing Dark Souls, and I haven't stopped.
Is that on the side, or?
Well, let's put it this way. Last I checked, I could bench press about 350 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Oh, god damn it. Because I'm carrying this, I cannot pick up this ammo over here, even though it's sitting right there waiting for me to pick it up. Game logic.
Then again, I don't know my...
This fight is less of a fight and more of an endurance test for one's sanity.
I mean, I thought this would be good almost horror, but...
I mean, most of the horror is primarily pertaining to how much damage it does to your sanity, not so much the gameplay.
But you know what I mean, like, the concept of enemy after enemy happening, way with the nothing you do.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's the potential idea, and then there's what actually happened. And what actually happened is not by any stretch of imagination a good happening.
We overloaded the generator with cycle power to the vessel. We needed help on the guard. It's imperative we get the relay tower back up now to contact our Marines. We won't last long if it's just us in here. There is an access tunnel. O'Neill, Winter, take the smart gun with you. Get our girls back. Head through the sewer line. That should get you to the relay tower. Copacetic?
On the one hand, I get to play with a smart gun.
Copacetic, sir. Winter's wrong.
So, the smart gun lives up to its name, and according to the official supplementary technical readout for the Aliens role-playing game that came out in 1992, this thing can put 5 rounds through a hole slightly larger than, well, a quarter. That is pretty decent, especially at any range. So as a result of that, you kind of get this heads-up display and all that sort of crap, which I could tolerate more or less reasonably-ish. But the big thing about it is, quite bluntly, the fact that it's very much a matter of this thing will make shit explode when you kill it. And, well, who can say anything bad about making shit explode when you kill it, right?
My question is, do they actually read a role-playing guide on 1982 for this game?
No, not for this game. The Aliens role-playing game came out in the early 90s, thankfully, and it was actually good.
So did they read it for this game in order to make you do the stuff?
God, I hope not. I'm just double checking all directions because, well, that's what any smart person would do on this planet.
I assume you're a hardcore aliens guy.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? It was,
I'm assuming you're a hardcore alien guy.
I wouldn't say hardcore, but, I've been a fan for most of my life. The first movie I saw when I was, 4 years old was Alien. And my dad will never let me live it down, so... It says a lot about my so-called sense of humor that I can find the extremely dark humor in that, movie as well. Even though it is, for lack of a better term, an extended and very horrifying rape metaphor. Okay, so... Sorry about that, just muttering for a moment. Just dealing with all the pests and the absolute screeching noise cannon this thing is.
Well, I can tell that.
Yep.
When I have the actual game audio muted, I just hear from your thing.
Oh, I know. It's pretty stressful. Watch my ammo count. I have 72 fucking rounds left because of this. Just getting to this point. Okay, so let's see what's in here for a second. Oh, look. An attempted ambush. Some armor. Which is always useful, because armor takes damage before health in this game. And some shotgun ammo. Yay! Shotgun ammo. Onwards. Fucking hell. I mean, it's kind of refreshing having a gun that makes these things just go splat in one quick squirt, but it's still exhausting after a while, you know? Because, oh look, shit, I'm back to the crap gun.
Actually not hard, it's just boring if I someone in that.
Again, that's why the first mod to fix this game, and it took almost 5 years for the mod to be created, was just going into the INI file and changing a single typo.
Mm-hmm. What I mean is, there's... So that's maybe less enemies or something, or...
Well, in the case of the AI actually being half-decent, it means that they will try to flank you, they'll try to move around you, they'll try to attack you in multiple directions instead of just going straight for your face.
Well, it'll take 5 years to find. It's just in the II file.
Yeah, I do apologize for going relatively-ish quiet, but trying to focus on this is frustrating at best.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
And it's not your fault that the game's bad, and it's kind of disorienting trying to keep from getting killed by it.
What the hell did he just walk into?
I don't know where you are because I'm like 10 seconds behind.
So there's a lurker somewhere in here. Lurkers are aliens that are essentially, well, stealth hunters, for lack of a better term. And as a result, they are even bastardier than your typical drone, which is just run up and smack you in the face one. So, good times. Not.
Was the one in the first movie just a drone, or that's a different thing?
The one in the first movie was a drone, yes. Things like lurkers and similar are all essentially additions caused by the RPG, because otherwise you'd only have the one enemy type, and players would whine about getting bored up until they got their faces eaten, you know?
Well, I feel like an RPG would just be like more of a horror thing, like Call of Cthulhu or something like that.
Well, yeah, but, well, some players just want to be murder hobos, you know? Okay, so this door is locked. I have to go through it somehow, but it is locked. I have to go back into this fucking shithole and find the unlock button, essentially.
You can't just, I don't know, shoot down the door. Which
No,
totally work situation.
It would totally work if it weren't for the fact that the door is about 5 inches thick.
Oh, darn it. How did it get real than that? I feel like something here would work, though.
Yeah, it would make it would make something work. It's just it wouldn't work in this because the developers hate you.
Yeah.
Or if I remember correctly, I might actually have to hunt down and kill this fucking lurker that's sounding like a fucking gas expulsion.
Your armor's low. Did that recover?
Found it. Bloody hell. It's not hard, it's just aggravating because the AI in this area breaks and you basically have to kill everything to get through it.
I love parts of the game where you're just like wandering around trying to find the entryway or something.
Don't worry, in this case it was very much a case of kill 3 enemies to get through this area.
Understood, 2-1. We're tracking your movements. You're about 30 meters from the elevator. Roger that, sir.
Quick turn, the kill enemy is always fun.
Yep, especially when it's very much a case of the enemies being not fun to fight.
Follow me.
Something's not right, he says. I mean, look at this place. It looks like an armpit.
Wait a minute, you just enter the keypad handle, right? Any time you just fuse to the all of them dead?
Pretty much, yes.
You think it'd be the other way around. You go to the keypad as soon as possible to get out of the room with the enemies.
Yes, but then again, you expect this game to have more than 2 brain cells. Okay, nothing else in here that's even pretending to be useful, so let's cut this open and keep going. So I'm flicking on my flashlight, and as you can see, it's not working for some reason. This is plot related, because of course. Hey, guess what? That was the end of the level.
Hooray! You defeated the bad guys.
Yes, I did, and dear God and fuck, that ending cutscene was just so all kinds of stupid, wasn't it?
Yeah, my issue is just, I feel like the level design could just either go all action or just go all on board.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna cheese a little bit and get some upgrades in that I can. So it's just spray more ammo faster for the pulse rifle.
You know, full difficulty.
Also,
Difficulty or bad?
there are difficulty options. It's just not good difficulty options.
What do they do? Just add more enemies?
No, they make them hit harder and make you cause less damage to them.
So what's the more difficulty level like?
At the moment, this is normal. This was normal difficulty, and push comes to shove, it's balanced around 2-player co-op. Anyway, that was level 4 of this goddamn shit pile. Most of my anger about level 4 is honestly lore related. It's very much something that I should talk about in a sit-down chat or a proper LP of this game, but at the same time the game isn't really worth the effort. So I just want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for chatting with me while I was showing off this game and just how absolutely ass-backwards horrifying it is.
Sorry, you can get someone with a better microphone or better.
Hey, no worries. It's just a matter of technical shenanigans, but when push comes to shove, I mean, what annoys me about this game so vastly much is that there was so much promise. There was so many ideas that could have been, and it was all just pissed away by someone being a greedy bastard. And the end result is a game that is barely worth maybe a 3 out of a 10 scale. You know? It's just...
On the 4-point rating scale.
On the 4 radius scale, it would still be a 3 out of 10, which puts it into the singularity of shit level. So again, thank you for coming. Back in the day, its average score was about a 45% out of on the 100 scale, so 4.5.
That's actually impressively bad.
Oh, I know. It's just... This is a game that all of the hype around it said, this is going to be a great game, this is going to be a game that follows the legacy of Aliens, this is going to be a game that is going to be interesting to fans and non-fans of the series alike, and then the end result is something that looks like someone unzipped their fly and slapped their dick all over its face and called it pretty.
My issues are just, it seems boring, and it's not like, it's not like action diverse enough to have like cool enemy types to creatively fight or anything like that. But it's not like horror enough that it feels tough or anything.
I know, I mean, you saw my reaction to the deaths. It wasn't anger or shock, it was just, oh god damn it, not again. It was just frustration. Yeah. And a good game looks at death and does not use it as a setback. I mean, as an example, Dark Souls came out in 2009. No, wait, Demon's Souls came out in 2009, Dark Souls in 2011. So, either way, 4 years and 2 years before this game, respectively. They looked at death as, it is a temporary setback based upon time, but you maintain your experience in many ways. You maintain what you've gained, all that sort of stuff, which was very important for those games, because it made death feel less like a setback or a punishment. Yeah, so anyway, again, thank you very much for coming. It was good chatting with you. I am going to quit this game and turn off the stream, because it's about time I quit this game and turn off the stream, because we've beaten level 4 out of 11.
This is a long game, actually, I guess. It's like 1 hour, I guess. So it's not bad, actually.
Again, it is